Okay, so we're looking at the Elddis GTV40 Magnum Edition, which is the Pin and Briggs Special. Just going to give you a highlight now of the handover of this vehicle, so we know how all the operations work. At the front end of the vehicle here, we have the flap for the fuel. There's your diesel cap. You can unlock that via your ignition key, and that's your AdBlue. You normally only top that up every 6,000 to 8,000 miles, but there is a warning light on the dashboard to tell you what it needs doing. We have the electric step. Don't panic if you leave it open. As soon as you put the keys in ignition, it will make a noise and let you know that you've got that open. Up here we have the awning. I will show how this operates shortly. Coming around to the rear of the vehicle, we have the bike rack. This simply snaps down, bike's attached to this, and there are additional rods inside the cab that bolt onto here to hold the frame of the bike. And to put it away, just push it straight back up and clip it into place. At the top of the vehicle here, you have the reverse camera. Come around to the side. This is your mains input. Here we have a 240 volt socket. Next to that we have the toilet cartridge. Simply lift the orange handle and that pulls out. Undo the cap there to empty. While you're emptying, keep that button pressed and it stops any glug back. So put it back in, simply slide in, push your orange handle in, lift, and it locks into place. And then you can close the door. A bit further up here, that's your water input. Just put in a hose pipe, fill it up, and away you go. These are lockable, just to stop anybody contaminating your water system. To the lower part of the van here, we have the blue tap. When you want to empty your fresh water tank, you simply turn that over a drain and let it leak out. And to the right hand side of that, we've got the grey wastewater one. Same scenario, just turn it and it starts emptying. Obviously if you're filling your van up with water and it's leaking out, you know you've not closed it properly. Up here a little bit further, we've got the LPG. Push in, let it pop out. You take it to any LPG retailer, plug it in, fill it up. Costs about £15 to fill it in full. Okay, so the awning system, at the moment we've already got the awning out. Here is your lock for the leg. That simply pushes up, let it ease down slowly. You can then turn, slide it up, and then it clips into place there. Do exactly the same the other side. Lift up the retaining clip, undo the lock, gently let it slide. Turn and rotate at the top there. Slide it into place. When that is flat against the base there, you know you've got it the right way around. Slide it back and let it release into place. You then get the winding rod at the top. In a clockwise motion, keep rotating. Now obviously when you're opening the awning, you do it in the opposite direction, unwind to about a metre and a half, and then put your legs down. Don't try and unwind it full, otherwise you're going to break the mechanism. Take that out and store it away. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at the cab end of this vehicle. Down on the lower section of the seats, you've got the button there for the heated seats. You then come up. The actual seat itself is a captain's seat, and it does rotate simply by pulling that lever, and that frees up the seat then to be able to manoeuvre. You may have to slide backwards and forwards a little bit just to get it around and miss other bits and pieces. The arms are fully adjustable as well. Underneath there, you've got your little dial. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, will higher and lower that arm. You can then bring that round and it's into place. At the front end of the cab here, you've got the DAB head unit. It's a sat-nav and actually works as your reverse camera. Just below that, you've got your heater settings. The button in the middle is for your cab aircon. That will only operate if you've actually got the air pressure on as 1 or above. There, the little dial at the bottom, that controls the power of the blow, and up here is your temperature. Cold all the way through to hot. Similar system on the other side there. The bottom two bring in fresh air, circulate the existing air, and then you've got your little dials there to set which areas you want the air to blow around. Across to the side we have a USB socket and a 12-volt socket. Below this you've got your little center console, and at the back end of that is a USB port that you can plug in your mobile phone or USB stick and operate the media through there. A bit further over here we have another glove box which have got all the cab end manuals in. And at the top end here there is another glove box. This has actually got air circulation, so if you have got your aircon on, it will act as a chiller unit for you. Across the way here we've got the clipboard. You simply just pull it up. There's a lever on the side there to unlock. You can then put your phone, tablet or whatever you want to put in and lock it into place. That just holds it in place while you're transporting. And to put it away, undo the lock, slide it all back in, lock it back up and press it down. This model is the automatic, which is the new 9-speed automatic. Park, reverse, neutral, drive. You can also toggle up the gears just by further pulling down or up into which direction. It tells you on the dashboard whether it's in automatic or whether you're manually selecting the gears. Over to the main driving area. You've got your indicator there, also does your headlights. Just below that you've got your cruise control and your trip control. Simply set up to set cruise, that sets your speed while you're in motion, and below is the trip, stops your speeding in the low restriction areas. Just be aware it is very close to the indicator stick and quite often can be knocked on by mistake. You'll know when it happens. On the steering wheel we have the volume control for the media system. That puts it in mute and that enables you to talk to the system. And here we have the phone controls. Allows you to scroll through your directory, answer the call, hang up the call. This cab end is fully curtained. So to the side of the system here, you simply push those two clips together. That then slides across and locks out the world. And to release, you just press the clips in again and gently bring it back. It takes a bit of manipulation to get the shape right. Same on the front end. This time you've got two curtains. You bring it across, bring across the other side, and then a magnetic strip here holds it in place. To release, you just prise the two together and away it goes. Okay, so here we're in the dining area of the vehicle. You've got an extending table here. There is a lever underneath. You pull that open and that will bring the table across, allowing another person to sit on the passenger seat. You've got two fully belted seats, and this area will also convert into a single bed. You simply adjust the leg there, that pops up. You lower the table unit onto the lower rail. The cushions then slide across, and in one of the cupboards is the rest of the bolster cushions and a mattress to go on the top, giving you a single bed area across that. At the rear end of the vehicle you have the double bed. Simple conversion system. You lift from underneath, slide it across, slide the cushions out, drop the back cushion into place and repeat on the other side. You do sleep on the reverse side of the cushions. It's a flatter surface and it does actually state on here, sleep this side. Okay, all of the windows on this vehicle have got blinds and a fly screen. ever so simple to operate. You just slide up whichever one that you want to use, and then it's tucked away. The window catches, there's 4 of them on each of the windows. Just undo all 4, push the window open, and then at the top corner there, you turn that just to lock it into place. And again, to bring it in, make sure that the catch is on the outer side, not in between, because you can actually set it to, as a little bit of an air vent. On the outer side, same there, same there. The window the other side of the vehicle will only open about 1 centimetre. This is to prevent you having the window open and somebody sliding the door open and knocking the window off. Above here we have the lights. These work off the main system, but each one is independently operating. Above we have the cupboards. Now the cupboards have a small lever that you push down there, then you can open. This basically just locks the cupboard in place because you don't want your things flying out as you're driving along. Over to the back corner here is where your 12 volt for your TV aerial, 2 plug sockets, a couple of extra USB ports, and the TV bracket. To remove this from the wall, there is a small pin. You just lift that up and that then operates, comes away, and then in reverse to put it back. And up the top again, fly screen, blinds. To open this roof, you pull down on the lever and you can slide it into any of the positions. When you put it back, make sure that those little hooks are slid into place, and that is then secure. Most of the doors have got locks on of one shape or form. This one, you push the button and you can then open this. And in there is a freestanding dining table which you can use outside or in the cab area. Okay, so we're now in the kitchen area. You've got a lovely big fridge. Again, you've got a spring lock on the door to secure it. You've got a freezer flap at the top there. Now this is a 12 volt condenser fridge. Switch it on, press and hold. You can then operate the temperature accordingly, and you can put it in nighttime mode, which basically cuts a lot of the noise back. When you're plugged into the 240 volt system, that just tops up the battery to enable the fridge to work. It does operate off the 12 volt system only. Press and hold, it's now switched off the fridge. You then move over to the microwave. Here, pull the door. It's an 800 watt microwave. Now obviously microwaves will only work off of mains electric. It is pretty straightforward. Press your start button, set the time you want it to go for. You can set your temperature with a little dial here, and away it goes. Anything more in detail, have a look in the instruction manual. You can set it to do weights and defrost and everything else, but all the details of that are in the instruction manual. Down to the cooker. Now we've got 2 gas rings, 1 electric ring. To operate the gas, you push in, you turn, you press your button, it will click, click, click. I haven't got the main switched on at the moment, and that will then ignite. You gently release the button, and if it stays lit, you know you've held it in long enough. Electric one, straightforward. You just set the temperature there by the different settings. Oven is also gas. It works as an oven or a grill. Set here. So at the moment, turn to that way, that's your grill. Turn the other direction, and that's your oven temperatures. And again, hold it in while pressing the ignition. Once it's lit, gently let that out, and it stays lit. You know you've done it correctly. There is an additional pull-out bit there, so if you are operating that as a grill, it just stops the heat coming up here and melting your knobs. Over to the sink. You've got a hot and cold mixer tap there. To switch it on, you just lift it up and then turn in the direction that you want it to the left, heat it up, go on to the right, cool it off, and obviously your little plug system there. So now into the bathroom. Got a small storage cupboard in here, which there is a locking system again. Simply press there. We've stored the shower curtain in this cupboard. Some people want to use them, some people don't, depending on whether you're going to use your facilities in the vehicle. And again, that just locks. We've got the basin, same mixer tap setup as in the kitchen. Lift it, turn it to heat, the other way to cool it off a bit. But this is also the shower head. You just put it out there and it hooks up into that top section. To push it back in, you have to just manually, gently feed it back until it slides into place. Over to the toilet. Underneath the toilet there is a small lever that slides to the one side to open the valve up, so obviously all your waste then goes through. If that is open, you will not be able to release the cassette toilet if you ever need to empty it. So if for some reason you can't pull it out, it's normally down to the fact that you've left that open. And the plug in here is just a push down, push up release mechanism. Little electric flusher there at the back. It all works off the fresh water, and then any waste goes into your cassette. Okay, so at the end of the season when you need to winterise your vehicle, there is a tap to completely flush the system through. It's located in this lower section here, and it's this yellow tap there. So basically you undo both the taps outside, the blue and the grey. You undo your taps internally, but only fractionally, to make sure the system's empty. You then turn that. This will completely depressurise the water system and allow you to store it away for the winter. Obviously when you come to use your vehicle, you've got to remember to put that tap back in. If again, when you're filling up the water system, if the water's leaking out from under the vehicle, it's because that tap has not been closed back up. Okay, and then to the main control panel of the unit. Up here we have the flow gas. You press that button and it will tell you how much gas is in the system. Top panel here, nice and easy system to use. That turns your mains on. Some of the lights have just come on there. That turns all your main lights off. This one operates the outside awning light. This one pressurizes your water system. This button here, if you press and hold that, this illuminates and tells you how much battery you've got. Same with the water, you press and hold that, that's red, saying the system is empty. We then move down onto the heating and water system. So you press your water, at the moment it's operating off the mains. You press it once, that's now trying to operate off the gas. That's now gas 1 kilowatt, gas and 2 kilowatts, and off. Nice easy system to operate. The water temperature is set to a set temperature, 70 degrees. Similar setup with the heating, simply press it once to turn it on. That's now operating off the gas. Gas and 2 kilowatts, off. 1 kilowatt on its own, 2 kilowatts on its own, 3 kilowatts, gas on its own. And with this, you set the temperature up and down via the unit there. Very easy system to work. However, if you're trying to operate one of these and it's not plugged in, for instance, or you run out of gas, you may get an exclamation mark come up on the control panel. To clear that, you press, if for instance, if it comes up and you're trying to do the water, you hold down the heating and the plus button for about 5 seconds and it should clear the system. Same in reverse, if it's not working on the heating, you hold down the water and the plus and that should clear the system.